On the cover of this 1971 Hot Rod magazine, you see a dual overhead cam Chevy small block motor, which has been modified and engineered by Richard Moser and Harvey Quirin from Quirin Cams. What you're going to see in this video today is one of the only few motors still up and running and on the road today, as well as you're going to see how Pete Aardema and Kevin Braun have modified it and made changes to this old existing setup by acquiring some of these original parts from the original designer. First, you're going to see one of these Moser Aardema Braun modification motors run in Cal Ross 1932 Ford Roadster.
There's our oil pressure down there. And then when I'm driving the car, I sit up and I can see the water. That's so cool. It's so brutally loud, you couldn't even stand being here. I would imagine. Oh, it's just terrible. It's such a great motor. That's potential to be with the modern LS motors. Here, listen. So, Cal, when you go to car shows, what do people do? Are they scratching their head a little bit? Completely. You know, you wonder how can you tell people what's going on when it's a modern twin overhead cam, 4-valve per cylinder, small block Chevy. You know, and then with all the exhaust pipes and everything, having an extra head stud and all that. Yeah. What you should do is put a little plaque right here and just say it's out of an Isuzu rodeo or something. Oh, there we go, there we go. It's at least got that people Braun on here, you know. So if they know who anybody, you know, my friends are, they know. Yes, oh, Kevin, I got a little oil spray coming out of there. I'm not sure where. Might need to have a little bit bigger oil change out there. Well, that's cool. Thank you, Cal. Oh, my pleasure. Awesome. A lot better than having to start up the smoking.
So what's the story on this one then?
Well, this is the first Moser that we built. And then it was sitting there on the shelf, so I said, Cal, you can drive it. You can have it. Run around your 35 or
We're going to come this way so the sun's not...
32. And he's probably got, what, 10,000 miles? Yeah, I've got a few miles on it, that's definitely.
So why is there multiple ports for the exhaust?
Well, it's got 8 ports because it's 4-valve. There's 2 exhaust valves on every
They had to go
cylinder.
around the bolts, so they didn't bring them together. The bolt in the head, they added the head bolt.
So we have 2 exhaust ports per each cylinder.
Yeah,
correct.
2 intake, 2 exhaust. Well, 1 intake. Right?
And then there's
We've got a head in there, I'll show it to you.
And this is one of your first prototypes?
This is the first one.
This is one of your first motors that you built. Okay.
Well, no, what happened was Quirin Cam helped Moser build these engines back in the 70s. And he died, and his kids, Quirin's kids, called me because of all the overhead cam stuff I do, and said, Pete, we got all this overhead cam stuff. So I flew to Florida and looked at it, offered him 20, he wanted, I don't know what he wanted, but I offered him 10,000. And he said, no way. There's 7 pallets of junk. Not enough to build one engine, but piles of cams and heads and all this junk.
Yeah.
So I bought it for 20 grand.
Wow.
I said, go ahead, I'll take it. And so we got the pieces. This should go in with the other Moser when we do it next week. But I got all the pieces, and the cams, because they were gear driven on the original, are designed to turn backwards. And cams are expensive to make. They're about $1,000 each, and there's 4. So here I got 4 grand in cams, and he gave me about 100 cams with the kit. So we put a marine sprocket on the crank, which turns the pushrod cam backwards. It's for a counter-rotating boat.
Yeah.
Chris Craft made them, and
so wait, so is the crank going one direction and the cams are going another?
Right.
Cams, so motors going clockwise and cams are going counterclockwise?
Yeah.
Wow.
Most engines, well, a lot of engines use a chain, so they turn the same direction. But Model A's, Chevy 6s, a lot of gear-driven cams, the cam has to be ground reverse rotation, which this is that way. Now, we're not using that pushrod cam then for the oil pump and distributor. So it's just an idler in there. So we lengthened it, we ran it through the front cover, put a sprocket on it like this. So all 5 cams have the same size sprocket on it.
Wow.
And they all turn reverse rotation. But we didn't get enough pieces to do it the way he did it. Plus his design was very noisy. This only has 1 belt and no gears.
Okay. And so Cal's you've had this in this for a year now, or a little over a year?
Oh, it's been almost about 3 years
3
now.
years?
Yep.
And how's it work out, and how's
It works great because I've gone through 3 clutches, 2 transmissions, snapped the drive shaft.
How many tires?
And the rear end has been completely upgraded to a modern Ford type rear end.
Everything is Model A except the engine.
I don't give all that credit to this motor, and I'm delicate on things, but you know, when you're dealing with 90-year-old components backing up a modern engine like this, you've gotta do your homework, gotta take it easy on it.
When we say modern engine, we're talking 1971, right? Because that's when this was featured.
It's 4 valves, so it has the potential to make horsepower. They raced him in midgets, and they ran at Indy. Oh, they didn't run at Indy. He almost qualified at Indy.
There's a lot of modern parts in this too. I mean, the valves are 7mm, not 11/32. It's different.
We fixed it. We made it better than it was by quite a bit.
That's awesome.
How long, Pete? When you had the little pipes on there and you started up and go pop, 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 pop. They got everybody's attention, but now with the different exhaust, you realize what a beast this motor actually is.
It just is a little, I didn't realize how close we were on the spark plug holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you get the spark plug in and out of that?
Well, I made them a lot bigger than the other one, but this
Got to use a
small.
little peanut plug, right?
No, they all do.
Yeah.
Well, you think the 13/16 hex is too big to get down there?
Yeah.
Need a bigger hammer, that's all. It'll fit and stay in there forever.
Yeah, it's been running for 3 years.
That's great.
And I don't think he's had any problem. I haven't been here to fix it.
Yeah.
No,
The only problem he has is all those speeding tickets, but
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Cops know me in town. They leave me alone. They just know right where to come and deliver the ticket.
the exhaust to me is very interesting. So how you have 2 ports, but because you
Look
don't.
at that head on the other engine, on the engine stand.
Yeah.
You see it's very
It's just
similar.
it's pretty cool.
Same head.
Nah, it's just no vacuum advance on that, just a centrifugal advance on the distributor. Is that like is that point type
Actually,
or dual
it
point?
drove me nuts for a long time because it spins backwards. It actually loads the distributor shaft in the opposite direction that they normally go. And so it was trying to draw the shaft down in, and it would actually, I find little metal shavings in there when it quit running to the last Roadster Club meeting and stuff. I'm going, wow, I wonder what's going on. And so finally I milled it and put a little Torrington bearing in there, got it set. But even with the electronic ignition, I had a dual point and I'd switch points back and forth trying to keep it running. Went to the electronic, and now I've got it staged correctly where it doesn't come out of time.
And then the
or phase.
centrifugal weights and stuff would have to be clocked differently, right? Opposite if it's spinning backwards.
You could use a Ford.
Yep,
The Ford turns backwards.
yep.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I bet you this really stumps a lot of people.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
completely. You know, the old adage is, if you can guess what it is, I'll let you drive it, or you can have it, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you
Well,
better
know
not
it's a
have it.
Chevrolet
I'll give you a
because
ride.
The water pump distributor
Yeah.
and but
Yeah, they
But
see
all
that.
The water drives through the idler pulley going into there. That's a unique thing. I've never seen anybody pull that trick off when you've got space
that is pretty
problems.
neat. So it goes
That was
through.
actually how we were gonna do the
How does
original
that-
and did the radial
Wow.
inline.
It's the same on that engine in there.
So it goes through.
It's so neat to
No,
have the
we
idler
didn't.
right
We,
on there.
no,
Center
we
of the
didn't do it
bearing.
on that one. We got away from that.
Oh yeah, we did away with that.
There's a
It was
whole
too
bunch
much of
going
a
on
pain
in
in
this
the
one.
ass. The ceiling that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah,
That one's fixed. The other one's adjustable.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the timing belt interval in this motor?
Well, to quote Pete's son, I prayed to the timing belt gods. Don't let go.
Is this an interference motor?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Oh God, don't say it out loud. But she just runs so good and just such a beauty. I'm so proud to display it. We took it to
Oh, heck
America's
yeah.
Most Beautiful Roadster show up there. We actually showed it in a different barn where the hot rods and all the people are. And we had the original plaque of when this motor was on the cover of Hot Rod magazine.